Hi, what was the purpose of the refrigerator invented? To store food for a longer period of time. It makes sense, but very often we put in the fridge those foods that do not really belong there, which in the fridge spoil faster, lose their properties, and in general, they should not be stored there. Some of these products will be quite unexpected for you. In this video, we're going to go into detail about what foods you shouldn't keep in the fridge. Also, friends, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The number one product is potatoes. The fact is that in the cold that is kept in the refrigerator, potato starch will be converted directly into glucose, and consuming extra sugar is not recommended. As I've said on this channel, the taste of the potatoes will also deteriorate if we store potatoes at temperatures below +3 degrees, after which we cook them. Then carcinogens begin to form in these potatoes. That is, it is already dangerous to our health. The next product that is not recommended to keep in the refrigerator is onions. The thing is that in the fridge this very onion can get moldy. I think you may have noticed such a picture. It happens from time to time, especially if there's a little too much humidity in there. You have to store. The onions should be stored just like potatoes, in a dry and slightly cool place. That is, not as cold as the refrigerator. One more thing. Never store potatoes and onions together in one pile. The thing is that when they are lying together, the rotting process only begins to intensify and the product spoils much faster and is covered with mold. The next product is tomatoes. Fragrant and juicy fruits are strictly forbidden to put in frost and moisture. Instead of an attractive fleshy tomato, you will end up with a soft, smelly, and tasteless mush in your hands. The next item is honey. In fact, honey is such a unique product that has virtually no expiration date. Often is written no expiration date on the package of honey. There are even some calculations that good real quality honey without any additives has a shelf life of about 2,000 years. Generally speaking, there is enough to last us for our lifetime. For these reasons, it makes no sense to put honey in the refrigerator. It can be stored well at room temperature. It is recommended to store honey in a dark cabinet so that no sunlight falls on it, because this destroys some of the useful elements that are in it. But, if we put honey in the refrigerator, it will negatively affect its physical consistency. We'll just compromise its viscosity. And one more tip hook. If you bought honey and put it in the freezer, that is, in sub-zero temperatures, and it's still liquid, it means that the production of the honey technology is low-quality honey, which has no practical benefits for our bodies. The next item is citrus fruits. This includes oranges, lemons, grapefruit, pomelo, and so on. These, oddly enough, are also not recommended to put in the refrigerator. The whole point is that there they will spoil, rot and go moldy much faster. The next point is the greens. Here's that interesting point. We very often put greens in the fridge, but what does that lead to? The greens start to wilt very quickly. They also lose their vitamins and healthy antioxidants as a result of this process, and we eat greens for their benefit. What people sometimes do even worse is to put herbs in the fridge in a bag, in plastic wrap. This will make all our greens get moldy very quickly and it will be impossible and unnecessary to eat them. If mold shows up, you have to throw out the whole package, because if we remove one lump, we're just removing the tip of the iceberg. In fact, mold spores have already spread throughout the product. We just can't see them, but they're there and we can't eat them. What is the right way to store the greens after all? Nutritionists recommend freezing herbs in the freezer, and this is the best option in terms of preserving their taste and their useful vitamins. Moreover, a number of studies have shown that freezing herbs is even more correct than drying them, because its flavor and vitamins are preserved better. The next item is olive oil. Many of us have noticed that if you put olive oil in the fridge, it just freezes and becomes solid. There's a definite tip here, too. How do you check olive oil for fakes? One way is to put it in the fridge, and if it doesn't freeze, if it doesn't become solid, then it's 100% likely fake olive oil. The optimum temperature for olive oil is 12 to 16 degrees Celsius. To have a separate refrigerator for the wine in which we will put the olive oil to maintain this temperature is probably quite exquisite, so storing olive oil at room temperature oil is perfectly acceptable. The next item is garlic. Many of us have noticed how garlic that has been in the refrigerator for a while starts to sprout at an unprecedented rate. Although it would seem, it's cold, life should stop, but no. In garlic it just begins and the taste also drops. The humidity makes the garlic it soft and completely useless for cooking. That's why dryness and a slight coolness are mandatory for garlic. Also, products such as potatoes, onions, and garlic are never recommended to store in tight bags, that is, where there is no normal air circulation, because this also all contributes to sprouting and rotting. The only exception is already peeled onions. It is better to wrap them in a bag. The next item is berries. They are to be consumed as soon as possible or frozen. Watermelon is also a berry. If we bought a good juicy watermelon, it is not recommended to put it in the refrigerator, because this will cause us to lose the benefits of it. In particular, we will lose the very valuable carcinogens, which are very good for our bodies. The only exception is if we have already sliced the watermelon. Here, really, the only thing left is to put it in the fridge and cover it with foil. Friends, do you put these foods in the refrigerator or not? Maybe you still know examples of how to properly store some foods. Share in the comments, it would be interesting. And now I highly recommend you watch my other video about healthy and unhealthy fermented dairy products. Thank you for your likes, comments, and subscriptions. You'll find a lot more useful information below the video. All the best to you.